Is Mike Ryan, and Mike has been working with the Rhode Island Film Collaborative since its creation in 2005. He has produced or co-produced the 48-hour film project in Rhode Island for its first 5 years. He is a former web designer who recently became publisher of Motif magazine, plunging him into the maelstrom of local arts and entertainment information. Here is Mike.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, I'm here to talk about a project called Rock and Reel. And it's something I can talk about for hours, so you're probably, as opposed to that well-choreographed presentation, going to see me chasing slides for the next 6 minutes, so bear with me. Rock and Reel is a filmmaking project, and it's a musical project, and it's also a local project. So its aim is to bring local musicians, local filmmakers together to create something really awesome. We're going to talk more about Randomly Matched in a few minutes. It also is going to be a narrative short. We'll talk more about that in a minute too. So this is all cooked up by the Rhode Island Film Collaborative, which is a local nonprofit. It actually has an R&F at the top somewhere. It's dedicated to helping independent filmmakers make their independent films. And it does that by combining resources and doing all sorts of cool stuff that's foreshadowing for some future presentation. I won't go into that now. One of the most successful things we've done at the Film Collaborative, though, is called the 48-hour film project. That's a project where people are challenged to make an entire movie in one weekend. We had 1,100 people take part in that last year. We've been doing it for 7 years, so we really built it up. And it's taken on a life of its own. So we wanted to do something new that, in a similar theme, would still connect artists. Those are small orange artists, throughout the state, and get them to work across media like music and film, and create a new kind of local variant on what the 48-hour achieves. So we decided to call it Rock. The founder, the guy who came up with the idea, is a filmmaker named Mark Providence, who also came up with the name. Rock's a little weird because it's kind of retro, but it also spoke to what we were trying to achieve. So now we're going to see Reel, which is interesting because it's all. Does anyone make video or make film here in the group? Woo! All right, a couple. Have any of you touched a reel in the last 5 or 10 years? Look, it's also weirdly retro, but it works because everyone seems to get what the project is about. So we're sticking with the name. People have kind of seemed to be warming up to it. When we first started the project, we wanted to give everyone 9 days to create their masterworks. And the filmmakers got back to us and said, whoa, we have way too much commitment. So we shortened it to 3 days. So it's going to be a 3-day project. Very different from 48 hours. But they'll have 3 days to try and make their narrative shorts. The filmmakers are assigned randomly to the musicians. Random can be fun. This is the good kind of random, the kind of constraint under which we expect creativity to thrive, kind of like having only 20 seconds per slide. And be fun. We also want these to be narratives. These are depictions of some films you might have heard of. And they track the narrative as they go through the film. I just think these are really neat, so I wanted to get them in there. Primer, if you haven't seen Primer, I highly recommend it. It's sort of the memento of science fiction and time travel movies. And everything in that diagram was sort of all snarled out. So anyway, this is more like the diagram of a narrative that we might actually want in our project. It's a little simpler. Most songs are shorter than the 4 hours that we're released. So we're hoping that people will be able to come up with interesting little stories that will match the films. I can't remember the name of this. Thriller! Get it! So this is probably the most classic example of a narrative music video. It tells a story. It costs bazillions of dollars back in the day. There are other good examples as well in the realm of music. There's MJ again, you can't get rid of him. There are also great examples in the filmmaking world. So if you've ever watched the first 5 minutes of Pixar's Up, has anyone seen that? Yeah. It makes people cry. It tells the entire life story of 2 characters in under 5 minutes without a word being spoken. That's powerful. There's also Rocky montages, which are almost cliche, but they tell stories, and Rocky would not have won nearly as many fights without them, so they're important. We've already had one candidate take part in this project. We did the filmmaking project as an educational venture with the Providence After School Alliance. Anybody work with, usually with PASA, yeah, with PASA. These were our PASA students. They made a short film called Flowers at Work. That poodle in the middle is actually a bouquet of flowers. Isn't that cool? It's nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but it was pretty cool. So they made a short video. It was great to see them try to come up with stories without using words, without pulling back on dialogue. And they did a great job of figuring out how to do it visually. I wish there was time to show you the whole music video, but there isn't. After the project is done, there's a screening. You get to see all your actors with their heads 30 feet high. They are real actors, so it will be more aesthetically appealing than that. After that, we judge the entries. Our judges are probably less frightening than this. This looks safer on my laptop. But then things really heat up. The competition gets interesting. I don't think she liked whatever film she saw. The ones that the judges do select will be part of a best of concert thrown by STEAM. That's the Southeastern New England Film, Art, and Music Festival. And the best of will be shown at that event in April 27th of this year. And everybody will get to rock out. We're going to have the musicians perform their music and also show the short films that were selected by the judges. So this is the crucial information about it, but really don't worry about the dates because you can look it all up online. I'm sure you have at least friends with smartphones if you don't have smartphones. rockandreel.org if you want more information on this later. So just to sum up, we're looking at hopefully some really hot music and some really hot filmmaking, which is going to create a heartwarming experience.